On World Health Day 2022, global attention is focused on urgent actions needed to keep humans and the planet healthy as Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 reviews Nigeria's response to the pandemic.
A facelift will be given to buildings like the Federal Secretariat Abuja and 24 others spread across the country as President Muhammadu Buhari issues executive order on maintenance of public buildings.
And we will review all of the biggest stories making the headlines across national dailies. Well, many thanks for joining us on the breakfast on Plus TV Africa. I am Justin Akadonge.
And I am Messi for a beautiful morning to you, and it feels really great to be back on your screen.
All right, we'll head on straight to what is trending, and a whole lot is trending across Nigeria, across Africa, and across the world. But let us start with what's happening in Burkina Faso. Do you remember the Pan-Africanist Thomas Sankara? Well, his murder, there was a judgment yesterday, and the former president who was involved in the murder of Thomas Sankara in the 1987 coup, well, he got life imprisonment with other two people who conspired in that particular coup, although the former president was tried in absentia.
Well, that has gotten a lot of, it's a lot of celebration for Africans. You could actually look at that in the microblogging platform talking about Twitter, and you see the celebration as Africans are really, really happy, most especially for those who are in Burkina Faso. Don't forget that he is also responsible for Burkina Faso, where he changed it honest people. And the reason why he's been seen as a hero, and some people call him the Marxist revolutionary, known by a lot of Africans because he campaigned against corruption and oversaw huge increase in education and health spending at the time. So you remember, but it feels like it's a pattern. Blaise Compaoré and Thomas Sankara were close friends
at
the time. You remember where they actually had, the joint coup where they took over in 1983. But it feels like it's a pattern, in the military. If you look at some in Africa especially, you find out those who plotted coups and what has happened over time. There seems to be some sort of betrayal going along the way. But the most important, the moral for all of this is the fact that no matter how slow it takes, no matter how long it takes, justice is a big one. It's a big one for democracy. It's a big one that, justice and the truth, will never hide. The truth will always come true, no matter how long it is. And I saw several persons reacting from different African countries in Kenya, and some people are saying we're hoping that, we get to a point where justice is served for some of these persons who have actually committed crimes. But this happened in his absentia. Let's not forget that he took what's it called again? Asylum, and he's currently not available. He's moved since that protest in 2014. And what's the possibility? What's the possibility of having him do the sentence or the time that's been given? But however, it's a good thing to know that justice will always be. But this justice did not just happen. It happened because the family, friends, and supporters were very consistent, and they constantly made an appeal. And so that's what we say, with the judicial system. Yes, it's okay for us to say the judicial system is not functional, but the judicial system cannot function on its own. It is only when you bring issues to it that it can constantly make the interpretation and give meaning to it, and then the problem might just be judgment and verdict. But like we mentioned earlier on, this verdict is a big one for Africa, it's a big one for democracy, and there's hope that justice will always prevail no matter how long it takes.
Like they always say, or like the saying goes, justice delayed is not justice denied. The trial actually took about 6 months, but eventually there was a judgment just yesterday. And we just hope the family would have some sort of, closure. I know it's not really easy, to to find peace or to get that particular closure after your loved ones, have been killed. But somehow, justice is seemingly served or seem to have been served in Burkina Faso with the handing of that particular judgment, life imprisonment to the 3 people who were involved in the murder of Thomas Sankara in Burkina Faso. Well, let's move on to another story also making the round. It happened yesterday at the SDP party secretariat, and there was an attack, Mercy, by thugs.
Well, so it has become part of our culture that from time to time you find out that there's a lot of crime and criminality. It brings us to one thing: we need to ensure that lives and properties are protected. We need to take the issue of security, very important. But why would anyone want to attack a party secretariat? What is it? Could this be, a sponsored issue? It's one and the same thing, with security and the fact that we need to pay attention. A primary responsibility of every government is to ensure that lives and property are protected. It's a fundamental, it's just a basic. But that hasn't really been, a priority for our government. I mean, state and federal government. I mean, I stand to be corrected on this one. So yes, the ideology, whether or not this is actually premeditated, it could be, because usually if you have a party secretariat being attacked, some people would say it would be the work of an opposition, right? So whether opposition or no opposition, it brings us to one thing: we need to ensure that security is top notch. And for us, who are those? Well, we want to also believe that it's not something that should be swept under the carpet.
Naturally.
That security, because as long as we are concerned in Nigeria, we have the Nigerian police force who started with the responsibility of ensuring that the civil, this protection of lives and property, that's their primary responsibility internally. And so let them get to work and find out those behind that particular incident. Quite unfortunate, and they should be brought to book and justice should be meted.
Okay, we also heard that one of the party's chieftain, that's the Social Democratic Party, SDP, Shegoni, also escaped assassination. A whole lot has been said concerning that, but proper investigation has to be done, Mercy, like you have said. The lives and property of citizens, have to be guaranteed. They have to be protected. Now, so we're calling on the appropriate authorities to, let's get to the end of this and see what exactly happened. Let a thorough investigation be done concerning that attack by thugs at the secretariat or on the secretariat of the Social Democratic Party. Well, it is a sad one for the SDP. A whole lot are actually trending, but we'll not stay so much on that. Just before we go to off the press, just a quick mention. President Goodluck, former President Goodluck, Johnathan, his convoy was attacked yesterday, and we heard that 2 people, were fatally.
Well, was his convoy attacked, or he had an accident?
He had an accident, sorry, and but let's not stay on that. But then the fact is that we thank God that he's still alive. But that's all we will take on top trending for this morning. We'll take a quick break. When we'll come back, we'll go straight to off the press and review the front pages of major dailies across the country.